Welcome back to another Saturday morning. And today I am graced with Jean Paul Golding and Zondre van der Ventel, who would be explaining to us the whole new LMS system, which is the Learner Management System, as well as why we've decided to change over to this program. So I'd like to start with just 2 seconds. If you can just say your name and obviously what you do, and no explanation on the programs yet, or just name and position, please. Zondre, say hi to
Hi,
everyone.
Zonja from the Central Director of Technology. So I'm in charge of the new look and feel of the Seat Academy Learner Management System.
Awesome stuff.
Okay, my turn. Hi everyone, my name is John Paul, and I'm director of the IT department at Seed Academy. And what I do is I basically do everything as computers.
Everything that's computers. I actually, you know what? Zondra, I must say, and please, JP, okay, wait. JP has requested that I call him John Paul because he's a big man, so I must call him John Paul. So, John Paul. But anyway, Zondre.
Sounds brilliant. Sounds brilliant.
Zondre, before we go into the new system and the benefits and things like that, I just want to say, it's so strange finding a female in your position, and especially after I've heard you've been doing this for so many years. Just, little background. How did you get into this? How did you get started?
Well, it's basically self-taught, but I have had many experience. I've developed our system for the ELN essay. So through that, I know what I know now. So I think with my expertise, we make this a brilliant experience for our learners.
Listen,
it's difficult as a female because it's dominated by men, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and we do what we do. That kind of thing. Yes, no, definitely. And I must say, I've been, yes, JP, stop rolling your eyes there. But I mean,
I will say though, from my opinion, my profession actually is a web developer. I still work in that profession as well, and some of the best developers when it comes to no matter what, if they're working on LMS like Zondre or programming or whatever you're doing, some of the best developers actually are females because there's just like a different. Y'all have a different brain when it comes to this stuff. You're welcome. Yes, it's just I think there's just that they bring a very creative side to the things, because we just want. I think as guys we just want to get stuff done, but females, I don't know. Y'all are good at what you do, so I'll drink to y'all.
Now I think it's also a case of the females got just sometimes you just need that female touch. Guys is like, okay, no, it just needs to be like this. The females go into detail. The color needs to be right, the font needs to be right, those type of things. But anyway, that's enough of you, Zondre. Sorry. But anyway, Jean Paul, obviously we've been doing the Google Classroom for the past about a year and a half, almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
So why did Seat Academy decide to move over to a new LMS system?
Well, quite a few reasons. I'm glad you asked that, Vanessa. So, of course, with being the Google Classroom and Google Drive manager for the past year and a half, started seeing a little bit of cracks in the wall, so to speak. Okay, and water is a very powerful force. If there's a crack in the wall, water will find its way through. So we started seeing a lot of that type of scenario. Okay, I'll list a few examples. Just for a disclaimer, Google Classroom is a type of LMS or learner management system on its own. It is a type of it, but of course, Google does charge if you want to use it at its premium or optimum level. They do charge, of course. And we at Seed Academy, as you all three of us know sitting here on this webinar, and our parents and learners who are with us, we're all about making things very affordable and cutting costs, of course, where we can, to ensure we can provide a quality education to prepare learners for their future. So we started seeing that with Google Classroom, it was very, very difficult to add a mass amount of learners, especially when we grew at such an exponential rate. In our academy, sometimes work just went missing because, remember, again, disclaimer, we are using the free version, of course. We're using what Google gives everybody. So we program, yeah, platform. So we started seeing that learners are not receiving the invites to the Google Classroom, and then it's 3-4 days later, then you get parents within their own right coming to our customer experience department, and they're like, we haven't received this, and we all like, but we have sent it, and then it goes back and forth. So of course that's a good reason to move away from this platform that seems to be failing us. In that one scenario is good enough for its own. I can list a few more, but we can't forget about the few. That one scenario is good enough. And then I brought up the chat of the LMS system, which I was quite familiar with, of course. eLearn SA, very familiar with the platform as well and how they ran their programs. And one day I looked at it and I was like, well, this could actually better suit our academy and our learners at our academy just for what we are doing. It can actually run the same thing and we can actually manage it more efficiently and more proficiently. So I had the conversation, and here we find ourselves discussing it, and finally here actually making the transition. And of course, as Andre said, it's not easy, of course, but we are making it, and we're going through with it, and it's quite an exciting journey. So yeah, I hope I haven't bored you too much with that explanation, but I thought that's pretty good.
No, no, not at all. Sorry. So no, not at all. I mean, that is very informative. I mean, people need to know why we are moving to a new learner management system.
Correct.
And just to answer Ian has asked a question: which LMS system would you be moved to? So maybe Zandre would like to explain that. And Zandre, do you mind?
We can't share that information as yet, maybe at a later stage, if that's okay.
But it's the same
Oh, thank
platform.
God.
Yeah, no, but it's the same platform you use for the eLearn essay, right?
Correct, but some things we need to keep our intellectual property. So we will share it at a later stage, just not as yet.
Okay, so would you like to explain to us, Zandre? The floor is open to you. What is our new learner management system? What can our parents or our students expect from that?
Well, first of all, they can expect the best learning experience. I mean, this is something that has never done before, or it maybe has done before, but in UK, maybe USA. But we've developed this software to track our learners' progress, to give our parents the best reporting based on the learners' performance in the classroom. The tutors can then manage the learners, from a distance, track the performance, as I said. They can also have the best, it's just the best experience that we can offer them at this moment. So, yeah.
Not a
Layman's
problem.
terms, goodness.
Yeah. Yes.
It's just goodness.
Okay, so it's the floor's open to either whichever one would like to answer. But tell us about what the kids can expect. Please excuse my dog if you see in the background there. Luna loves being in the spotlight as well, so please just ignore her. But the new learner management system. Wow, I've got quite a few questions coming up here. Okay, so Zandre, what would be in the system when a student logs in? How do they go about with those things, the registration processes and things like that?
Okay, so for the current learners, they will receive a unique username and password. This will obviously go to the parent as well, so no one will be able to access their student profiles. only the tutors and the back end support, as well as the parent. So once they've gotten the usernames and password, they will have access to the list of subjects they are enrolled for. We've made the system extremely user friendly, so they won't feel lost once they signed in. So automatically it takes them through to the list of subjects. All they need to do is click on start course. Voila. All the course material will be available, the course curriculum, explaining to them exactly.
I think Zandra is freezing. Am I right, JP?
Oh, I thought it was me too. That's why I was doing those things in the thing just
Yeah,
to
yeah,
check.
no,
Sometimes you got to check. Sorry for those watching. You just got to check that you're also not frozen with your own
yeah,
computer.
yeah. I think she's
Um,
frozen at the moment. So I don't know. Do you want to
yeah.
take over quickly?
Yeah, sure. So as on, I'll pick up where I last heard a leave off.
Yeah.
Was that it's user friendly, and you basically just click on start course, and then there's a nice little map, so you'll actually be seeing where you'll be going. So if anyone has used Google Maps or Waze to navigate in like a GPS system, the course is outlined kind of like a GPS system. You know where you're starting and you know where you're going to end up. And of course, as new
Correct.
content gets loaded, of course, it all just like filters in there, and you'll actually be seeing where you are going. So that's super user friendly, and maybe some of us that are watching have used learner management systems before, and this is kind of will be no different. Obviously, the only thing that's different is look and feel, right?
Hmm.
It might just look and feel different to what you normally used to. But yeah, Melissa, I don't know if you want me to address some questions also that's been coming through, or
I'd
do you
like,
want to just
yes.
navigate it?
Yeah, no, okay. I just want to say, okay, so will the learner system help that the tutors will be on time for class? So, correct me if I'm wrong, JP. So, everything is on the learner management system, which means that the links to
Correct.
the classes is there as well as the timetables, right? So everything is in
Correct.
one place for the student, compared to what we had at the previous time, where timetables get sent from this one, that one, it's on that platform. So everything
Mm,
is in one
correct.
platform. So the same will
Mm.
be for tutors as well, right?
Yes, that is correct. Sonia, can you back me up on that as well, if you're there?
I am here. Sorry, I just lost internet connection there. Okay, so the live classes will be exactly the way they are now. Timetables will be exactly the way they are right now. It's just the actual content will be moved to the LMS. So we will improve our scheduling for teachers actually being on time for the classes. We do apologize if they were late in the past. We will try
Hmm.
and have them on time going forward.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome
What we
stuff.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a sniper on the neighbor's roof, and if they're not there, we're just gonna bah, and get them to get out of bed.
JP,
You know.
please. Um, okay, so how
Oh,
does
sorry,
the
too much
change?
information. Sorry.
Yes, yeah. So JP, how does the, and I'm asking JP this question, Zandre. So how does this affect the changeover? How will this affect our students?
So with the transitioning, of course, there is going to be a filter process. All right. Then to chuck all of our students just boom on there, and then all is lost and whatever. So the Google Classroom will probably run for some of our phases. Let's break it up into phases. Of course, we got foundation, intermediate, senior, and FET. Okay, so of course, Zandra is my boss on this. So I obviously I go to her for where we're going, etc., etc. But I'm sure we will be doing it a phase at a time to kind of make sure everybody gets on the as smoothly as possible. I mean, I don't think there is a method, what's the word that I'm looking for, that can be most perfect or perfectly smooth for this transition. All right, so there might be a little bit of bumps along the way,
Yeah.
but like what do you do? South Africa, you have a pothole, you just carry on driving. You hit the pothole, just
Hmm.
carry on driving. So if we hit anything, if we hit a pothole, if we hit a bump, whatever, we'll correct it and just keep on moving to make sure that the transition is as smooth as possible. and no learner gets left behind. No matter what phase you are, no learner gets left behind. So yeah,
Yeah. And
May I
also
just,
with that,
yeah,
may I?
yes, go.
Sorry to interrupt you there, JP. We are actually moving with all phases, not just phase by
okay,
phase. We are moving
Oh my
okay,
words, it's
with
gonna
all
go
the
wow.
phases.
yeah. So it's everything. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, great. Okay, great,
yeah.
great, awesome.
So we will be preparing both tutors back in support as well as the office staff, because we understand that the high volume of calls that will be coming in.
Great.
Change, some people take change very difficult, but I mean, that would only be the first few days. And then after that, everything should be running smoothly. The only thing that they might find difficult would be the login process, which will
Mm.
have their own training documents. So I doubt that it will have a negative impact on the learner. So yeah, it shouldn't be difficult or have a negative
Okay,
impact on the learner.
awesome. So I'm quite excited about this question that Linnell Smith posted here. And she's asking, is the system still accessible via Google, or does it have its own landing page or website? So I know that there is a few things that needs to be known with how to get access to it and things like that. Zandre, if you'd like, do you mind?
It's fine. I'll take this one. So we won't be using Google Classroom at all. Um, all the information, all the content, all the learning content that the learner needs to be informed about, it will feed through the LMS. So from the tutor to the software department through to the LMS. The learner will no longer have access to the Google Classroom. The LMS has its own website that will feed through to the Seat SA website that we currently have. So there will be a tab that says Learner Management System. The learner then goes through to that section. I hope I answered your
And
question.
of course they will log in and boom, boom, boom,
From there,
and start
yes.
learning. Yeah, start learning.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very easy, very simple.
yeah.
Okay, now okay, so now I don't know if I speak under correction here or if this is going to be implemented, but now obviously a lot of our students they do not have laptops. Some of them use tablets, some of them use mobile phones.
Yeah.
Will they still be able to use those types of devices?
Of course, we actually developed the Seat Academy app. So this will be available on both iOS and Google Play Store. So the learner can actually download the Seat Academy app and then just log in from there. So they will be able to attend the classes using the Seat Academy app. So you don't
Fantastic.
actually it's not compulsory to have a laptop. You can do it from your cell phone.
That is amazing stuff. Thank you for that. JP, are parents able to access the platform as well? That is from Sonia Hendricks.
So parents, of course, if you they would get the logins of their child as well. So they can obviously also manage and see what their student is also or learner is also doing at the same time. But I'm gonna just give it over to Sandra just to check because I mean, like I said, Sandra's my boss for those watching. Yes, she's my boss. If if parents will get a separate login, or will they also be using just their students' login? Sandra.
No,
Okay,
they'll have the
great.
students' login details so they can access.
Yes,
So that initially the student login details will be shared with the parent and not with the child.
correct.
The
That's
parent
good.
must share the login details with the child and make them aware that they
Great.
actually have access to the portfolio, to the profile. So I can actually track you. Have you been attending the
Mm,
classes? I see it's still on
mm,
0%. Why is this? So
mm,
the parent will have access to the student profile. Yes.
mm.
Actually, now that you're mentioning the tracking, I looked at the introduction video, I think yesterday, I looked at it and it says on the little dashboard, it says there that you can
Yeah.
actually track your progress. So it will tell you you've completed 7%, 6%, 5%,
Yes.
or
Yes.
0% of the work.
Yeah.
And if I'm correct, Zandre, with the back end, we're also going to have a space where we actually send out an email to say, you've only done this percent. Is that correct?
Correct.
Are we still
Correct. The
doing that?
tutors will be able to run the reports based on the learner progress. So should they want or should a parent request this from the tutor side, the tutor will be able to run a report from the back end and send it through to the parent. So should the learner lie and be like, yeah, I didn't I actually completed it, but the tutor will be able to run the report and share it with the parent, as well as the
Okay,
facings.
okay, fantastic. Then I know there's a lot of issues. John Paul, I'm going to give this one to you. So I see there's a lot of questions coming up with regards to the live classes. So
Mm,
obviously,
great.
the Google Classroom being one of our platforms, which was basically considered our main platform because of
Great.
everything that is done on that platform. A lot of parents are now asking the Google Meet, will it no longer be used? Is it still being incorporated? How will the live classes then go from the LMS system to the live classes?
Right.
JP, if you want,
Uh,
you
s-
take this.
Go,
you
JP.
know what? I'll
Go for
rock
it.
paper scissors for you.
Oh,
No, it's fine. Go for it. Go for
Okay.
it.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, my boss doesn't like to play games. So we will probably be making use of Google Meet for a short while longer. Of course, from the start of our academy, when we started noticing the cracks in the wall with regards to what obviously the one size fits all Google platform could obviously offer us, we obviously did do some investigation and research into moving away from the Google Meet platform
Yeah.
for live classes to something a little bit more secure, or something that's a little bit more suited or catered just or tailor made for us. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot share exactly that platform right now as
Yeah.
I'm not within my rights. However, a new platform has been discovered and is further being investigated right now as we speak. So I will say this, that a transition from Google Meet to this new live class platform will also be introduced this year. Very like Probably likely in term two, maybe, or term three. I'm
no,
not sure.
don't say
But
things like that. If the
uh,
new speakers, then you make sure that we need to do that in term two. So rather say it will
I
be
s-
in the future.
yeah, well, I'm just extremely optimistic and extremely hopeful.
Not
So
term two, but later in this year. Not term two, later in this year.
yeah, probably later in
Lis-
this year.
Yeah, listen to
I
your
would
boss.
say
Listen to your
later
boss
this year.
there.
Yeah, my boss talking to me there. Yeah. Anyway,
So,
uh,
in a
yeah,
nutshell, viewers, in a nutshell, we will still be continuing on Google Meet. There will be no
yeah,
changes with regards to the live classes that's happening. It's just that we're making it easier, that it comes, all the information is on one platform and not several other platforms. So that is the benefit of the learner management system. So we still have two platforms that we're running from, which is the new LMS system and the Google Meet for the live classes. Live classes is not going to change. I was just emphasizing that so that everybody is aware. We don't want to start term two and everybody's looking for live classes. Where must we log in? Type of thing.
Yeah.
But I was,
no, we don't want that. We don't want that.
but
We don't want that.
with the new LMS comes certain security protocols and things like that. So what is the benefits of the LMS system? What security features do we have in place for this type of thing? Um, John Paul or Zandre? Okay, yeah.
JP, go for it.
Yeah. Just to give people, there may be new people watching. So this is our learners ask a question in a live. Yeah, okay, cool. Anyway, yeah. So of course, one of the biggest security features is that if the learner does not have their login, they don't have their username, they don't have the password. They themselves also can't get access to it. Of course, they can request a password change or whatever. But however, without this one little key, you know, This is the only way forward. You can only get through this door with this key, which is your username, which is your
Yeah.
password. All right, which is amazing. Okay, of course, with using, okay, yes, Google has obviously upped their security and stuff, even on the free platform and whatever. But of course, if anybody has their Gmail account, and if you some super hacker who's in his room with Mountain Dew all day or whatever, who knows what could happen there? But I mean, yeah, we're actually giving you a key which is username and password, so that is quite secure because that gives you access to your learning, so you managing also that. Okay, please, those who are watching, don't give out your username and key to just to anybody. Okay, you don't want to do that. Okay, it's tailor-made just for you, so that already is secure on its own, because we all have platforms that we log into with the username and password, and that's just for us, and we don't share that. So exactly the same way, so that's secure on its own. Yeah, that's for me.
Awesome stuff. Um, I just wanted to touch on with regards to portfolio of evidence. Okay, so I know that Department of Education requires students to have a portfolio of evidence that obviously parents needs to keep and tutors needs to keep, and obviously this gets handed in at the end of the year. So I don't know, John Paul, can you perhaps just start us off on that platform, and then Zandra can just carry on with the process of how that is going to be done on the learner management system.
Sure. Okay, let me back up and explain how portfolio of evidences was done in the past year and a half. All right, so portfolio of evidence, of course, we used the Google Classroom along with the Google Drive, where we would create folders for the learners, and the learners would have to go in, or the tutors would obviously store the summative assessments there, but learners would turn in their homework via this their own um, folder, etc., etc. Then at the end of the year, when the year's done, we would take the portfolio, we'd take it off, and then we would clear the Google Drive for the new students to come in, and then move them all over and everything like that. So that became a little bit what I like to call tedious. Okay, because it was very, very time consuming. It was very, very time consuming, even with the lesser amount of learners that we had in the past year and a half to what we have now. Now what we have is, of course, a platform where everything can be turned in via one platform. All right, it's loaded on the LMS. Learner will take it off and obviously tailor make it for themselves, of course, work on it on their local device, and then turn it back in. Right, so then they've turned it back in and whatever, and then Zandre, I know we discussed just before the webinar, but you said it so perfectly. The part where they get where the tutors mark the learners' summative assessment, so the exam script or the test script. Mind telling the viewers how that process of getting their mark script back goes?
Okay, so first of all, the actual document, the assessment will be available to all students. It will be loaded as a lesson. The student downloads that specific document, completes it, submit it back to the tutor. The tutor gets a notification that says, JP has uploaded the assessment for term 1. The tutor goes back into the back end, mark the assignment online on the LMS, submits it back to the learner privately. Both the learner and the tutors got a copy of the marked assessment. Very
And
easy,
I
very
like
simple. And it's private. It's only
Yes.
sent
So
to that specific student.
so
So it will be
therefore,
stored on the learner management system as well.
so to conclude this whole thing is that the student, therefore, remember, as the saying goes, he who does the work does the learning. They keep their own mark script, so they hold on to their script. Yes, we will have a copy for backup purposes. Things get lost, but they keep their own. They can keep it on their local PC. They can keep it on a flash drive, keep it on external hard drive, but they keep their
Yeah.
mark script safe. So if it is requested, of course, and they need to turn it into the department, the department does request it, they can do so themselves.
That's correct. Thank you for that. I just want to put up this. It says, and with the new LMS, will the students be getting emails provided by the school that will be used in the platform, or will the students continue using the current email addresses? Zandra, I think that would be for you.
Yeah.
They will be using the current emails. Yes.
So they're not using the student numbers with the password. They're using the current email with the password.
It depends. We can discuss whether we want the actual student number to be used, or would we like them to actually select their own password or have them set their own password. But I'm thinking that we should use their current email addresses and the student number as the password.
Okay, not a problem. Thank you so much for that. Just want to pop up some other questions that's coming up. Okay, so Mans, the whole idea of the learner management system is to actually improve our current Google Classroom. So we are moving away from the Google Classroom. So we will not be having any problems with submitting and resubmitting the same work. So this is why we're moving to the new LMS system, just to make that clear. With regards to the new, with the LMS system, so anything new that gets implemented obviously needs training. I know for myself, I mean, I'm quite familiar with the eLearn SA platform, so I know how to navigate the eLearn SA platform. And because it's the same thing, it will basically be the same for with the Seat Academy platform.
Yeah.
What type of training will be done? Obviously with the tutors, but also with the learners. And is this training, how will this implement? So if we decide, and I know we said that we're doing with all the entire school, grade from the entire academy, from grade R all the way to grade 12. And this is going to take time. So obviously we need people that is trained up before term 2 starts. Is this where, Zandra, I'm not too sure, will this be happening with the tutors and the back-end staff?
Yes, correct. So tutor training will be done with both the office staff, tutors, and the teachers, the parents, sorry, and the learners. So we will issue a video recording as well as a PDF for step-by-step instructions on how to actually log in, where to go, where to click, what username to use, what password to use. We will also have technical support available at all times should the learner have any difficulties on signing into the platform.
Okay. And then John Paul, is it only homework and assessments that goes into the portfolio and not all the work they do for the year?
It's only summative assessments that the department is concerned with regards to their portfolio of evidence. So only summative assessments.
That's correct. And that is
Before I end
basically
off,
all. Yeah.
sorry, before I end off, I just want to address the question that was just before this, as I understood it differently to how you answered it. If sorry, Mans, as I'm reading it now, if there is possibly an issue with you resubmitting work and whatever, can you probably just get in touch with our current customer experience department. I said current like it was going to change. It's not going to change. It's going to be the same department. But please get in touch with them so we can possibly sort out that issue for you as well for your
Yeah.
for the learner.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you see, I also maybe misread that question as well there. Um, is there anything else that you would like to add with regards to the LMS system that I might have possibly forgotten to ask that you think is important for our viewers to know?
Are you addressing the question to myself or JP?
Well,
No,
anyone.
sorry.
I mean, is there anything that I missed
JP,
out
you
on?
can take this on, please.
See what I must do? No, I'm joking. Again, once I'll just start by saying that I'm very excited that we are making this move um, to th- to this new platform. It's a great platform for learners to manage their learning journey, of course, and I think the learners will probably find it more user friendly than what they have been experiencing, and they'll probably enjoy learning so much better. And who knows, perhaps they'd want to continue this style of learning when they move on to tertiary education,
Yeah.
because it's just that simple and that user friendly. Yeah, so I'm very excited about it. Of course, my motto has been since high school that he who does the work does the learning. So, of course, the learners through this system is actually going to learn the meaning behind that quote. They're actually going to learn it firsthand and experience it firsthand. So they probably will enjoy assessments. They will enjoy their pre-recorded lessons. They will enjoy everything because it's nicely mapped out. very easy, it's simple to use. I think the handing in process of homework assessments, no matter, is actually that much easier. And yeah, they'll, all in all, I think they're going to have a wonderful learning experience on this platform.
Thank you so much. I just want to thank both of you actually for taking the time out to obviously be on our program today and just to explain and take us through the new change and the growth and the innovation that's been added to Seat Academy as a whole. Linnell Smith, can you share the preview video of the? Okay, so I'm sure I posted a little introduction video, just explaining the navigation on the learner management system. It is on our Facebook page. If you'd like a copy of that, just message me privately. I can send it to you. We are allowed to share that with you. Obviously, anything else needs to be private. I just want to do 2 questions, guys, and we're going to call it a day. I don't know what Canvas or Moodle is, to be honest with you.
I'm familiar with the Moodle platform. I will say this. LMS is an LMS within its own right. Like I mentioned earlier, that
Yeah.
the only thing that changes is look and feel. Okay, so yeah, Moodle
No, okay.
is great, but it's just the look and feel is probably different. That's all I'll say on that.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Is there any last words that you guys would like to say or anything like that before we call it a day?
As my grandfather, for me, as my grandfather used to say, goodbye.
Sandra?
Well, I look forward to the new journey for Seat Academy and the learners as well. And I really hope that they see what we see. And yeah, I look forward to this future, to the future.
Thank you so much. And yes, we are all excited about the new changes happening within Seat Academy. We're excited about the new programs that we're implementing. I mean, I'm so excited that I can't stop working. I don't know if you guys feel the same, or you can't stop working because you need to get things done because you're excited for the
Yeah,
kids to actually experience that. And like I said, I've worked with the eLearn platform, so I know what it's about. I know how it works. And for me, it is like, wow, I want to learn. I want to see what's next. I want to do this. And I can see everything that's on the system. So I'm super excited for our kids to start this. I'm super excited for the academy as a whole, for the growth that we've had. And yes, like I said, with everything, with growth, innovation becomes just more time for excitement. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm overexciting. Sorry about that. So let me rather just say thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for
thank you
explaining
for
it.
having
And
me.
thank
Thanks
you.
for
No,
having us. Thank you.
yes, and it won't be the last time. I'm sure there'll be many more with parents wanting to know more. So please be prepared. Um, Viewers, thank you so much for participation and the questions that you've been asking. Please, if you do have any other questions, keep posting them. We will get to them after the program. But we wish
Yeah.
you a blessed long weekend. Have fun. Be safe. See you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.